I grew up watching my mom fill her offering envelope. She was a consistent giver who really impressed on me the importance of honoring God with our finances, which really set me on the course to being a Christ-first giver. And now my husband and I are on a journey of finding ways to participate with God in his ministry of compassionate giving by helping those in need and finding ways to partner with him to catalyze ministry initiatives through the church.
I think when we first started, giving, we've always given, and it's always been what's comfortable for us.
A few years ago, we heard Pastor Dave Dummett speak on generosity and giving, and he gave a challenge to people to try to tithe. That's where we made the decision to start tithing.
I thought generosity meant you had to lose something. I'm losing money, I'm losing resources, something is being taken away from me.
What I feel like the Bible teaches us about giving and tithing, I feel like it's a place of obedience. I remember first getting the invitation where they were going to be launching a new group called a Catalyst team. And it would be centered around generosity and opportunities to give.
One Friday evening, I was in the office here at the house working. It was a late night, and she came in, and
He told me he quit his job.
well, I hadn't quit yet. I said I can't do this anymore.
It was too much to juggle for him to try and carry this full-time job and
go to school and my internship.
It was just a lot, and it was wearing him down.
Yeah.
And so here we are, a very unknown and very uncomfortable time for us.
I have a heart for global missions. Going and seeing people in other countries know the gospel and really encounter God. I had heard stories of Catalyst givers who had heard about a need and were able to give thousands of dollars to meet that need. And I knew that that wasn't me. I wasn't able to do that or meet a need in that way. And so I really struggled, I think at that point, with feeling like I belonged to the group.
And so we are sitting, having coffee, doing the budget, and we have this credit card that has a balance that has somehow gotten to be more than what we're comfortable with. A lot of anxiety for me and struggle, not knowing how to pay that. When I got to work, I checked my pay stub and I knew what it was supposed to be. And when I opened it, it was a lot more than what I had expected, which was a great surprise. And so I was doing the math and happened to be the exact amount that we owed on our credit card bill, down to the last dollar. And at that moment, the feeling is indescribable. No other words could explain it, but it was a God thing. God's hand was all over that.
Currently, I'm a junior at high school right now. I'm involved in an engineering program, which is pretty cool, and that's kind of where I think my life might be heading right now. We had the JHM service as normal, and I walked outside, and in the hallway there was all these amazing devices and all these amazing engineering stuff. One of them was the water wheel, and I walked out, and the second I saw that, oh my gosh, something hit me, because that device, it allowed people to transport water so much easier than the way they normally do it. And they used that device just to help so many people across the world. The second I saw it, it just made me want to help these people. So I was lucky enough to be able to get connected with my youth pastor at the time. And he allowed me to make a little bit of a donation, but it was enough to buy one of those things. And that I just knew was going to help people across the world. So
The director of the Catalyst initiatives, she responded just so graciously and assured me that the Catalyst group was really about having a heart of generosity and that I absolutely had a seat at the table.
It may be interesting to know that some of our consistent givers at Willow are from correctional facilities. One such story is Charles. He recently wrote a letter to us sharing that he gives because we're one of the only communities that came around his sister and helped her with her rent and food, and our programs actually helped her raise her kids. And there are more stories like this. $5 here, $10 here, $20 there, all from correctional facilities. Charles is currently in prison, and he has regularly given to Willow by sending a tithing check every other month for the last 12 years out of his very, very modest earnings.
What's changed for us now is knowing that God has us and God will see us through, and it's that trust that we can have in our giving and knowing that we have the ability to bless others, the church and others through our tithing.
When it comes to money and resources, sometimes I like to think of, you're not losing money, you're using money. You're using it for good. You're using it to help the experience of other people. It could be people across the world, it could be people right next door to you, but it makes generosity seem like something that builds things and not just takes away.
I feel like we all have times where we feel like what we have to offer isn't enough. But when we decide to trust God with what we do have, and when we give it to Him, He's able to multiply it in ways that we really can't imagine.
The generosity journey is not a linear path where the goal is to arrive at a certain giving level, but rather it's a journey of continually accepting God's invitation to use our resources and join Him in the work He is already doing. Whatever situation you may find yourselves in today, we can ask the question, do we have the heart to be generous? With the right heart, our giving will follow.